Oh, James.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Music Twindustry podcast. Today, there are no twins. No. The interns are taking over. Yes. I'm Lizzie, intern 1.
I'm Emily, intern 2.
We are going to be interviewing Forrest and the band. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
I'm James, intern 1. I play guitar.
Hi, I'm Forrest of the name and the band. I don't intern here.
My name is Lucas. I play drums for Forrest Band. You can call me Forrest 3 if you want.
I'm Mars. I play bass for Woods, Jungle, Desert. No, I'm just kidding. For Forest, my favorite biome.
Welcome to New York. It's your first time, maybe?
Yes.
It's Lucas's first time. I've been here for a show one time before.
Awesome.
As a band.
Yeah. Wait, so where are you guys from exactly?
LA.
Yeah, me and Lucas and James are from LA. Forrest is from Chicago.
And then shout out Kevin, who is our guitarist back in LA, who isn't here for this trip. He's from Boston. So
Okay, cool.
Scattered. Yeah. So how'd you guys kind of come together as a band? Like, what's your origin story? If you could give a little bit of a background.
So the Forrest thing is like, it's kind of a solo project, mostly a band. I've been doing the Forrest project for a couple of years, and I've had in and out a kind of rotating door of people. But settling in LA, I knew James when we went to school together, and then I was like, I need people to play instruments for me and do shows and all that. Introduced me to Lucas and Mars, and then Kevin from back home also went to school with us. So kind of came together because of James.
Sick.
So we went to Berklee College of Music.
Okay. Cool.
Boston, Mass.
Yeah, Boston.
Yeah.
Love shows in Boston. Love playing there. It's honestly the best ever.
So you guys are currently recording an EP.
Yeah, we're putting it. We're in the midst of putting it out right now. We're halfway through, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're 2 songs out of 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And the next song comes out November 22nd.
Beautiful. What's it called? We'll plug it.
Are You Doing Better? I think. Yeah, that's the name of it. Are You Doing Better?
The next single. Yeah.
Do you write the songs?
Yeah, so how it kind of works is actually the song that's coming out is our other guitarist that used to be my roommate, bestie, Ben. Actually did the instrumental, and then I redid it with the full band. But that's unusual for us to do. Usually I have a half-baked song that I've almost written or fully written. I'm okay guys, can you fix it to make this sound good?
Yeah. Can we have a sneak peek of the song? What's it about?
It's honestly one of the nicer songs. Lyrically, it's about sometimes you have a falling out with someone. And
Truth.
I had a falling out with someone, and there's a lot alluding to it on the EP. And I was just oh, I know that we don't like each other, but I still hope you're just doing good. I'm happy that we are no longer in contact, but it's great that I hope you're doing better now that we're not messing with each other.
Truth. Very
Love
relatable.
that.
Very relatable.
Yeah. I did listen to a lot of your music.
Yeah.
Love it. I noticed that your older stuff was very pop.
Oh God, yeah.
And your newer stuff obviously transitioned into more of a punk space. So what was your journey? Who were your influences? What kind of drove you to find your sound this way?
When I was 16 writing songs, I obviously didn't have these guys with me and didn't have a full band. And I also was I've always been into alternative music, and it's difficult to do crazy loud alternative music with just a guitar. So I did that. Then I was working with Dylan, who's off to the side, and we were just kind of messing around. And then I found a band in Boston, and I started writing more of what I wanted to write, and I was getting into alternative stuff like shoegaze and such. And then these guys totally are into the music that I'm into. And Lucas is wearing a very cool shirt from a band that we all love.
Goddamn right.
Gangsta Popeye, Tiger Bar T. You know what it is.
Hell yeah.
Tap.
Tap.
Hell yeah.
Basically, just the way we've been doing stuff is it's a basic skeleton. We kind of figure out some semblance of what our parts are going to be within the first 10 minutes, and we'll fine tune stuff, and then we'll record it. I think now the sort of MO for the next batch of stuff is sort of to be more intentional with the production side of things, where we're kind of trying to perfect the parts the way we've been doing, just experiment with different sounds and kind of bring different sounds intentionally that make things sound a little cooler. And
If I can jump in.
Yeah, please.
Being intentional with like what Mars was saying, there's not really any post-production on stuff from the past like 2 years. There's like barely any post-production. There's no like electronic anything. It is all full band. I've been getting really into industrial music and specifically a band called like Snake River Conspiracy. And I've just been like blasting their music. So we all kind of were like, this sounds cool and we'll try it. Doing a bit of like a more industrial sound to it with like intentional post-production and like still having the band feel with being like, oh, getting Mars on like maybe a synth keys on stage or doing like pads and stuff for Lucas. Trying out new stuff. We want to get more into like not just going into a studio recording, mixing and mastering.
So have you guys been kind of on the performing grind, trying to get into it, perform more? How's that been going?
Yes and no. I feel like,
Do tell, explain.
We've been on like half of like we've performed maybe once a month in LA, and then now here in New York is like show. Mm-hmm. They're not coming with me, but I'm having some people fill in November in Boston. Unfortunately, but any other time, I'm taking them in my backpack and we're all going.
In your backpack.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
In your little pocket.
Not in the fanny pack.
Once we get back to LA, I'm gonna be like, sorry guys, we're like grinding like 6-hour days and like drinking a Trader Joe's keg and like working on albums. Amazing.
I didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
$6 probably.
So you're a few songs into releasing the EP, and you mentioned doing an album now too. Is that kind of on your same track as the EP? Is it its own project?
It's gonna be its own thing, and I want it to be able to like just be like hand in hand, where it's like, oh, we see a natural progression of like going from band stuff to some electronic. Like, I don't want to just do, and I don't think any of us want to do like a straight up like electronic album, because like we love having a band and I love having like the band feel, and like live instruments are my world. Mm-hmm. I want them to be able to hold hands and be like cousins, I guess.
Cousins.
I don't know if I can do that yet.
Tell us more about the stuff that inspires you. Like, you've talked about some music that you listen to. Like, what kind of stuff are you watching? That kind of thing.
Sad girl folk music sort of thing.
Love that genre.
Love
Shout out
that.
sad girl folk
That's
music.
the Christian name for the genre. Bringing the intentionality that comes from that into this, with just like the different colors that you use for chords and everything.
James is like
It's very good.
Just ask me to like slam on my guitar every single song, and I'm like, oh, you're right, James.
Oh, James.
I can't just tell you to like.
Oh, James.
It's good to have that,
Yeah.
both perspectives. Do you have a favorite artist like in that space?
Madison Cunningham, probably. My goat. Shout out.
In the LA scene, there's a lot of punk bands, and I love punk, but I guess I gravitated more towards really technical, weird stuff, and I've just been obsessed with that for as long as I can remember. I stopped listening to like AC/DC, so it was from classic rock to, oh, I can't play this, I need to learn how to play this. But the shirt I'm wearing kind of recontextualized music for me, I guess. It doesn't have to be insane. If it's loud and heavy, it can still be beautiful. I'm just excited to be doing that, I guess, in this band.
For me, I feel like I went to music school for like 2 years and I dropped out. So like, I feel like I'm in a kind of weird position where I really love music theory and like technical stuff, but I also have like a really strong attachment to music really being like an artistic statement. So like, I kind of equally love like jazz or anything that really puts a lot of like effort into showing like the intelligence of it. I try to get meaning out of everything. My wheelhouse kind of tends to be like more on the punk rock, like indie rock side. But like, I'm usually just like the weirder, the better. Like, if you're like a good live band, that's going to translate no matter what. Like the guy I'm wearing on my shirt, shout out Bo Sloan. He's like a pop industrial sort of artist I play with in LA. And he is an amazing stage presence that regardless of if it's similar to what I listen to or not, it's just so much fun to play. And like that's why I love this band so much, because I get to put so much energy into the parts, and it's like a balance between like what fits and feels really well, but also just allows me to go just like ham.
You guys don't want to let the frog answer?
Yeah, you kind of skipped him.
So
okay.
true.
Yeah, real
So
Cool.
true.
He's
controversial.
well spoken, honestly.
Closeted musical
kid.
theater kid.
Me too.
Yeah.
With all of us.
So I like put such like I put such an emphasis on vocal melodies and doing that stuff because of I think that like musical theater roots is like I need a good vocal melody to like grab onto any song that I listen to. But that being said, is like I'm also into like shoegaze music, and I've been listening to like on my shirt a lot of like Glixen and Glare and like a lot of bands like that. I've been listening to like Wisp, and yeah, very like light vocals and like kind of very much like the vocals are part of the instrumental to me. Doing a okay job of like mixing an interesting vocal melody with interesting instrumentals. Then again, I'm obsessed with that band, Snake River Conspiracy, right now. I'm like so obsessed, and it's like a 2-piece, I think, that like made one album in like 2000 or 2001, and it's like girls singing very tasteful industrial music, and they do a cover of Love Song, and they're so good. They're actually like so good. So that's gonna be my like, besides all of my like shoegaze and like rock, you know, reference tracks, I'm gonna have like this like whole album from like 2000, 2001 on there.
So you mentioned being a closeted theater kid. Let's talk more about that. Let's talk more about that.
First of all, my bedroom, like my
I'm
childhood
gonna give you this
bedroom
back.
is, my childhood bedroom is like bright pink, which is amazing. Bright pink, and like the one wall, it has like framed, signed, like double framed, like musical theater, like 6 of them. Like ever,
Which
like
ones?
I want to say not Rent. I didn't like Rent. Sorry, LOL.
That's a hot take, I feel.
I know.
That is a hot take,
I
but
just
that's okay.
I think I have Kinky Boots, Les Mis, Phantom of the Opera, Wicked, and one other.
Wow.
I think Miss Saigon is like my favorite musical.
Oh, no
I
way.
love that.
One of my career goals is to play like guitar for Legally Blonde eventually.
That is one of the best musicals
I can verify that.
ever.
And it's like one of the hardest like guitar books for theater, as far as I know. I like have a big thing on my computer of all the like guitar Broadway books, and
Oh my
I've been
God.
going through all those. But I also did like musical theater in high school.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I went to a really small school, and so even though I sucked, I got some good roles.
What was
I
your
got
favorite?
to be Jack in Into the Woods.
Oh,
That
that's
was
a good
fun.
I was the grandma in Into the Woods. I gets eaten by the wolf.
That's a fun role. That's a sick role.
I have a question on kind of still the theater topic, but I also make music, and I feel like having like a musical theater like background growing up, going into like finding my own sound and like recording my own music, I get so like critical where I'm like I feel like I sound theatery, like this is just so how did you like kind of develop into your own sound after being trained such a specific way?
Oh, see, okay, it's weird. I never took like musical theater training. For like a year, shout out Mr. Roebuck of my like high school music, you know.
Mr.
He's my-
Robux?
Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot mentioned.
He's my high school music teacher who like we did vocal lessons for like a year, and he's awesome and like the best ever. And I like still DM him. I'm like, I have a song coming out.
Oh, that's
Cute.
He did like classical opera training, and like so I did like classical opera training for a year.
Wow.
And
No
I did
way.
like School of Rock training for like a year or 2 years.
been there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually
School of
love my
Rock.
School of Rock instructors. They're like dope.
Wow.
And then
Mr. Robux.
yeah. When Billie Eilish's first album dropped, I was like on that wave, and then I was like, I'm gonna like whisper sing everything. And then when I did vocal training, they're like, you're gonna wreck your vocal cords. Like, don't just like. So then, you know, I started doing just like a blend of like normal singing and breathy stuff, but then like screaming and blah blah blah. And I want
Right.
to learn how to like do the like nice screaming.
Yeah. Can we go around to all 4 of you and just give us your best attempt at one of
At
those
Porno?
screams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please do
Right
it
into
the
the
mic
microphone,
as well. Who wants
please,
to go
if we can
first?
just do that.
Well, actually,
Go.
yeah,
What
why
kind of
not?
scream are you talking?
Well, the scream or the moan?
I can do the moan.
Because I can do the moan.
Okay,
Moreno moan.
we
Okay.
can go with a moan.
Alright. I want to choose on you. It's like no, I don't know.
Okay.
You're back from school. You have to like ascend.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he does a lot of that
That was
sliding
good.
thing. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy.
Wait, that's actually why is that the best?
Here's my number.
Harley Ray.
We have 2 songs at least with blood curdling screams.
Oh, yeah.
The second one, I remember we recorded them like in my garage.
One of them is out now.
Yeah, the more recent one that we put
both?
out,
Oh, you're so right.
Always Forever. We were like scared that my neighbors were gonna like be mad, and so I kept checking like the Ring
like
or the
100%
Ring
they're-
doorbell app to see if anyone was like, is someone getting murdered like in my neighborhood?
cared.
But yeah, no one cares.
That's
Maybe
promising.
that's a concern.
Yeah.
Just a couple final questions. Where can we find you online? And is there anything else you would like to plug before we end this interview?
You can find us on Spotify and all of that. Forest is a difficult name to find, so I always tell people I'm like search up Forest Bodies, or which is probably easier to remember is the other one if you search up Forest Porno on Spotify or title or anything. The song will come up. We have a song titled that. You actually will see me naked on one of the covers, but not on that cover. So
Click the
anyways.
first result. Do not scroll. Keep your safe search on. Is my recommendation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on Instagram. I like kind of act as like band Instagram. It's like my whatever. And it's s.f and then another F for forest. S.f forest.
Beautiful.
I would plug the merch, but we're almost out of merch, and I tried to print more, and then the building next door like got on fire.
I love these guys so much.
Oh, can I just say, guys? No.
No.
I needed this.
Lucas needed this.
Really, like the East Coast is so beautiful, and life is just so beautiful if you take the time to like look at the small things and just really appreciate it.
Genuinely, this
Stop and
is.
smell the roses.
Yeah, we don't have red or orange leaves. We have orange leaves in Los Angeles sometimes, but red, nah. Like that's foreign to us.
Does the frog have anything else to say?
Pierre?
Final words.
Pierre, sorry, excuse me.
He's gonna get us canceled. I can't do that.
Yeah,
okay.
better
Yeah,
not.
canon.
He's gonna say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
you guys. This has been amazing.
Thank you.
Thank
This has
you.
been so fun.
This
You
has
guys are
been
perfect.
This has been Music Twindustry Intern Edition with Forrest and the band. Thank you. Bye.
Funny